for office out in Ohio, and we need a Trump rally real bad right now. So I'll definitely be, and I know you guys will be too, watching the rally on Friday or on Saturday in Ohio, because we need to hear from our president what's going on, what's happening, where does he stand, where do we stand, what's going on in this entire insane process that we've been watching in the news unfold, where we haven't really, and a lot of people say, I keep hearing people say, and this really burns me beyond imagination, nothing's going to become of this. No one's going to do anything about it. That is not the case. We are on the eve of a major midterm election. And if you look at everything that's going on, the MAGA candidates are gaining all over the country. And there have been more MAGA wins than you even realize, people. There really, truly have. And, the thing about this is something is being done about it. Something is being done about it, even though a lot of people will tell you it's not. And one of the things that's being done about it is President Trump continues to fight. He continues to fight and stand up for what is right. And that's what he's doing here. As long as he's standing up and working against these evil people, things will be okay. All right, let's take some more calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Richie.
You're right on the dime here, what's going on here, but this has been going on. Brian, this started...
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Obamacare, how it was so unpopular in this country, and what they did was they were in the middle of the night, but a lot of it didn't kick in right away, because if it would have, the American people would have revolted. And it just was in steps, but the bad parts of it came at the end, with the premiums going out of the roof and everything else. Then it was the light bulbs also. They started telling you what kind of light bulbs.
Well, and don't forget, they were regulating the size of Coca-Cola in New York City.
Yeah, all of it, and then the cars now that they're going to tell you what kind of car to buy, but they don't do it right away. They do it down the road. Everything is like the laws all kick in later because of the American people would wake up. The fact of the matter is that you got a city in Washington, D.C., Republicans, I don't know whether you call them Republicans, the Democrats, the power is all in that city. The money is controlled in that city. It all comes down to the money, my friend. The transfer of wealth.
Well, now you're right, and let's just be more specific instead of just a generic rant on things. You're right about everything you say, but now we've got a second grand jury looking into Trump embezzling campaign funds. They're going to have multiple indictments against President Trump, and they're going to come hard and fast. And I thought it was very unusual that without even posting on social media, he flew into D.C. over the weekend.
Out on them, they see it, and basically it's it's like the underworld when Gotti's regime started to go down, and they started wiretapping everything, and they realized they were losing power. They struck out. This is an attempt. Even the IRS agents in this bill. This is an attempt to scare the crap out of the average person and keep them in line. And we're being controlled.
Well, did you see the release of Dr. Simone Gold from prison? Oh my goodness! She was the America's Frontline lead doctor, and she was according to Nick Searcy, the actor who made a documentary on January 6th, she was really set up by the Capitol Police on January 6th. She was going to give a speech outside on her bullhorn, and she said that Capitol Police told her to come inside and make her speech. And then she went inside the Capitol, made her speech on the bullhorn, got arrested. She pled guilty to a misdemeanor. She got the maximum sentence, which was 3 months in federal lockup. She gets out of federal lockup at the end of the week last week, and we find out that they had her for part of the time in solitary confinement. Dr. Simone Gold. Solitary confinement for a misdemeanor charge.
Yeah, this whole thing is to teach. They're like shock jocks. They are going after the average person because they're losing their power. People are waking up to realize that Washington D.C. is so bad. It's all money controlled, and it's a small group of people running all of us with their stinking laws and everything else. And what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they took the guns away from the people in Venezuela, because my wife is Venezuelan, you know that. When they took the guns away from the people in Venezuela, the government gave the guns to the criminals and the
That's right.
controlled population. And that's what's happening in the inner cities of this country. Why do you think this prosecutor is not prosecuting these people? Because the average citizen lives in fear. They lock themselves in their apartment. They can't believe this is going on. They're saying, how could this happen? The country, they're waking up saying, this is not a...
Well, the divide in this country is pretty, across state lines is insanely obvious, like we've never seen before. There's this mass migration of people to Florida and Texas and out of Florida and Texas based on political ideologies is something else. It's something we've never seen. But what's scary to me is the complete media coverage. The 35 MAGA raids that Steve Bannon talked about last week. Have any of you seen that mentioned in the mainstream news cycle over these past 3 or 4 days?
Brian, the mainstream news is corporates, and corporates are involved in the money deal with the New Green Deal and the money transfer. Once again, the corporations, news organizations are not independent anymore. They're owned by AT&T, Comcast.
That's right.
It's just what.
No, you're absolutely right, and I really believe that the overblown ridiculousness of the royal coverage is to cover up what they've been doing in the past week.
They control the narrative of the news. If somebody has a cough, they can make that into the news for a week if they want to.
Yeah, that's right.
They can eliminate things that they don't want you to know about. That's what.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, no matter what your spin is on the news, you want everyone to know about these MAGA raids, the 35 MAGA raids last week. But I haven't seen it. I mean, I have not seen it. I've seen endless coverage on the Queen and Charles, but I've not. That should, without question, be breaking news sounders all weekend long.
The news is part of this government that's trying to stay in power. I tell you that.
Yep.
Corporations that are involved.
All right, Richie, I got to run for our break, but thanks for the call. All right, we're coming up on our last break of the hour. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth. That's right, the Steve Kane Show. Also, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. My name's Brian Craig. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Those of you that watch me on YouTube, I had to start up a new feed, so check that out. We'll be back after this. 2631. 888-465-2631. Those of you that watch me on YouTube, I had to start up a new feed, so check that out. We'll be back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional
Steve Kane Show.
installation when you use their low-cost Central Station.
Hey, hold on.
So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050.
These are scary times, people. This is... Make sure you guys like the video. Sorry, I had to start up the new stream.
Seniors
How would you like to save money on your...
So I have a new iPhone coming. I ordered the iPhone 14 over the weekend. I'm not going to have it for a couple weeks, unfortunately. I hate buying iPhones, new iPhones, but I stream and vlog so much and use my iPhone. I have a 12 that the battery is about wiped out on it, so, you know. So anyway, I've got the new one coming. Has anyone ordered the iPhone 14 yet, or is going to get it? And you know, because I live stream on YouTube on my iPhone, so that's why I've always got to have the best condition iPhone I can have. I like iPhones better than the Androids myself, but that's just me. I know there's Android people and there's iPhone people. All right, we're coming back. All right, we're coming back.
1-561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, you want to call Sloman's and find out how you can get your free doorbell camera. I'll give you the number in a minute, but I just want to talk for a moment about what this doorbell camera does, because it's absolutely amazing. I have one, and, you know, it's a cool thing. My wife and I, we don't really go to the grocery store too much. We do the DoorDash, right? We got Amazon coming all the time. You know, with your doorbell camera from Sloman's, you can see when people are at your front door. And you know what? It lets you know when there's activity at your front door. And you can take a look outside and see who is there anytime there's movement at your doorstep. It's a motion-activated doorbell camera, by the way, that shows in 1080 HD video. And you can even communicate to people out there, like if without them even ringing the doorbell. But if they do, they don't know you're not home if you're not. And you can always take out your mobile device and see your front door and who's there and talk to them and get notified no matter where you are. Like when I'm on our cruise in January, I can answer my door with the doorbell. It's absolutely amazing. So you got the motion sensor. Oh, the night vision. The night vision is absolutely amazing because it works even at night. The two-way audio I told you about. There's mobile control where you can even unlock the door from the app when you get a doorbell notification. And you can even record the clips of the movement out there so you know who's there, who's not there. A buddy of mine down the street has one, and there was someone that came to his house looking for him. And I said, hey, somebody came by the other day, they were looking for you, and I couldn't remember their name. He's like, oh, I'll just pull up the file and I'll see who was there. You know, these doorbell cameras are absolutely amazing. So call Sloman's right now, and they'll tell you how you can get yours for free. And it's nice when there's someone at the door, you don't have to answer the door, no matter where you are, like if you're indisposed in the, restroom. It's a very convenient thing. Listen, here's the number. Call and ask them how you can get your free doorbell camera. Toll free, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. One more time, 833-283-5050. You'll be glad you got it, I promise you. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Slick. Good morning, Brian, and good morning to everybody in the YouTube chat.
Hey, what's going on? Slick. Hey, Slick, what's going on? What's on your mind today?
Well, you have a headline on your YouTube stream that Trump is in D.C. on a secret unplanned trip. Well, I don't think that it's so much of an unplanned trip. I think that Trump has gone to D.C. because he is surrendering. He's been indicted.
Oh my God! Are you? Do you mean that, or are you just trying to like get the phones going?
I believe that has happened because we saw on Friday Steve Bannon in a New York City courtroom in handcuffs, being perp walked around like he was some sort of carnival sideshow. They have every intention to do the same thing to Trump. It's not hyperbole. I'm not trying to just say it to say it. I think that's what is going to happen.
Really? Oh my goodness. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
Something that I've noticed with the people on our side in the MAGA movement, there's an issue with them facing reality. And I saw this a few weeks ago when you were saying, you were talking about an indictment coming.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
Oh, how dare you say this? If we don't face reality, we can't prepare for inevitability.
Well, a lot of people were acting, because you're right, it was a couple weeks ago. Trump is going to be indicted. There's no question of that. And people were mad at me. They're acting as if me talking about it is going to make it happen. And so you think he should... let me ask you, you think he showed up in D.C. because he was surrendering himself, I guess through some secret FISA thing, I don't know. But if President Trump is indicted, you don't think he would go very public on either television, if somebody would carry him, or on True Social and openly defy surrendering? Or do you think he would just get in his private jet, fly there, and surrender on a dime like that?
We don't know if that was part of the deal with the surrendering. If maybe he had to stay quiet about it.
I don't know why you got to scare me so much this early in the show. I got 2 hours and 8 minutes to go. If the moment Trump is, and I'm going to ask you this question. I mean, this is, and I'll throw this out to others in the audience. I believe Trump is, if he's, I hope Slick here is wrong, but I do believe he will be indicted, maybe multiple times if he is not already. And I've thought maybe they already have a sealed indictment that they were just waiting to process and act on too, since the raid of Mar-a-Lago. But the moment President Trump is indicted, there's no question it's all political. Are we still America at that point? Or have we become, has our form of government completely changed?
America will always be here so long as the people believe in the Constitution. There will always be threats against the Constitution. There will sometimes be foreign threats, and
yeah. Wow.
Us as their enemy.
Well, they always have. Listen, the Democrat insurrection of the Civil War has never ended, really, if you think about it. They've always, they had a century reign of terror with the Democrat community activist organization known as the KKK. We see what they're doing now. The Democrats brought us our income tax. Yeah, all of it. It's all because of the Democrats have been after us for a long time.
When they're comparing us to the terrorists that hijacked the planes that flew into the Twin Towers, it's crossed over a line, trying to come up with a cause to act against us.
All right, Slick. Good call. I appreciate the call. Have you called before?
No. First.
I thought so. You're very... I get it. Oh, yeah, I know. All right, take care, Slick. Slick he's active in our YouTube live chat room, and he's a sharp guy. And I very much hope that he's wrong. Have you also noticed? Really, it's been months now. In many ways, the war in the Ukraine has disappeared. And I'm reading in Breitbart today, Zelensky will deliver the keynote address at the United States Defense Industry Conference. Is the Defense Industry Conference, is that kind of like the Comic-Con of the defense industry? Ukrainian President Zelensky will be the keynote speaker at a top defense industry conference in Austin, Texas later this month. Well, hold on a second here. Is he going to leave and come here, or is he going to do it over Zoom again? Let me see. Zelensky's address at the National Defense Industrial Association's annual Future Force Capabilities Conference and Exhibition I guess they put the weapons on display. It is like Comic-Con, but for the weapons industry, will occur over video on September 21st. Okay, so he's not going to leave Ukraine. Zelensky is expected to make his pitch to U.S. defense companies for more weapons to aid his country's war with Russia. He'll be joined by Ukraine's Minister of Defense, who will also address defense industry leaders. I got a question for you, because I usually don't follow this defense industry convention that they put on. But why would you go to the people that make the weapons? Because this is where the companies go, right? It's like a trade show. Like I saw over the weekend, they had the home show at the South Florida Fairgrounds up in Palm Beach, right? You go there, look at new kitchens, new grills, and appliances for the home. This is like the home show for weapon systems. So if you're a country at war, like Zelensky is, why do you go to the companies? It doesn't make sense. Why would you go to the companies that make the weapons to ask for more weapons for Ukraine, unless the military-industrial complex is the real government, right? Because usually you would go to leaders in Congress, a president, speak to an ambassador, speak to foreign allies of the United States. Going directly to these companies is kind of weird, right? Isn't it? Yeah. He'll be speaking to boards of directors from all of the companies, including Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed, Raytheon. And then Breitbart, a little editorial comment here. Although America is in a recession and faced with record high inflation, Biden's Department of Defense announced an additional $675 million weapons package for Ukraine on Thursday. You know, is Russia really a threat? How many months has this war been going on in Ukraine? I've been telling you all that I've been following the war in Ukraine by watching Ukrainian millennial snowflake YouTubers. I've been talking about one guy in particular, Pavlo in Ukraine. Pavlo in Ukraine, who is like 20-ish, he's 25-ish, older, younger a little bit. He's got this bikini model Ukrainian girlfriend, and I haven't seen him join up. He's making YouTube videos, traveling. I saw him the other day traveling Ukraine by train with his girlfriend. They weren't in fear of the Russian army or anything. You know, I said for years that the Cold War was a complete lie. The Cold War was a lie. Russia was never a threat, just like they are not now. Russia is and always has been a third world country. And very much of it is like in North Korea, they have these parades with the trucks and the missiles, and you'll hear sometimes analysts point out that if you look at the tires, there's no weight on the tires of the trailers in the North Korean parades that are pulling these missiles and everything, because it's all fake. It's all like plywood and balsa wood, or there'd be weight on the tires, right? That's what it's like in Russia. They've gotten their butts whipped by Ukraine. And here we ended this 20-year war in Afghanistan in a disastrous way, and immediately they start up another one in Ukraine, and we're pouring money and money and money. And when he goes to these military, this trade show of weapons manufacturers, Zelensky, on the 21st of this month, of course, the United States pays for all of those things, which means the taxpayers, you hardworking people, pay for all these weapon systems. You think that these big political donors are just okay with the 20-year war in Afghanistan ending? They need a new one, because that is what their business is about. You know, we didn't have a military industry before World War II. Now we do, and that's their business, war. And without war, there's no business for them. So that's what's going on here. It's a big con, a fake enemy, a fake war. Russia is no threat. And they just keep pouring money and money into Ukraine. Boy, I wish we could find out what the balances were of the Zelensky secret bank accounts in Switzerland and the Caymans. Wouldn't you love to know that? All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Great call so far this morning. Let's keep it going. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back after this break. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Great call so far this morning. Let's keep it going. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back after this break.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll.
CMG Live.
Yeah, a listener sent me this shirt.
Now,
It's nice.
the True Oldies weather forecast.
I have some nice shirts that listeners have sent me here to the radio station.
Low 90s again today. It's going to be hot and humid, and we have a chance of some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be strong later on this afternoon. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Delray Beach, a disabled vehicle is blocking your right shoulder on I-95 heading northbound just beyond Linton Boulevard. I-95 northbound ramp to Okeechobee Boulevard, a disabled vehicle is blocking the right shoulder there. A left shoulder is blocked in Palm Beach Gardens along 95 heading northbound just beyond PGA Boulevard. The surface streets are still crash-free, but we're seeing some more volume on Jog Road north and southbound between La Chalet Boulevard and Hyperluxo Road. 441 north and southbound between Lake Worth Road and Forest Hill Boulevard. And we're also seeing some light traffic starting to form on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield into Boca. This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies. Dell Technologies semi-annual sale is alive. It's time to save big on PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Plus, get great deals on top accessories, including docks, monitors, and more. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Great Britain preparing for next Monday's state funeral for Queen Elizabeth.
The Queen will lie in state in London for 4 days starting on Wednesday. Members of the public are being warned to expect long lines and security checks, and visitors are also being asked to dress appropriately and stay silent inside Westminster.
ABC's Ines de la Catera in London, where security may become an issue for the heads of state heading for the funeral.
According to Politico, world leaders are being told they cannot use their own state cars. Instead, they will have to be bussed over together from a location in West London. The White House has said President Biden would attend the funeral, but it has not commented on those latest reports.
No school again today in Seattle. Union teachers have been on strike since last week Wednesday. School districts said negotiations are continuing. The major freight railroads are preparing for the possibility of a strike or lockout could begin as early as Friday. This is ABC News.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com.
All right, we're coming back.
.com to learn more. Uma communications for the smart business.
Opinions are like apples. Everyone's got one. Get yours in the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Welcome back, and it is Monday, people. Oh, man, a lot of news going on. A lot of news. You know, I was talking in the last hour. I got another news story here that I haven't touched on yet. I mean, this is just involving Dr. Oz. There has been major news that has occurred in the past 4 days, none of which has been covered in the mainstream media, and I include Fox News Channel. in that with their endless, ridiculous, royal, overblown coverage. Okay? I was talking in the first hour, I'll do a quick recap, then there's another story here that should also be a major story, but it's not, because it doesn't fit the narrative. They're using the royals to cover this up, and this royal thing's going to go on for another week or two. It is. It's believe me, this is their. It keeps them from talking about the purge. It keeps them from talking about gas prices and inflation, all these things. So, after the surrender of Steve Bannon in New York last week in the Perp Walk, which we talked about on Friday's show, when Steve Bannon got out, he went and reported that there were 35 MAGA homes were raided by the FBI last week. It's insane that this has happened. Tucker Carlson on Friday night had a guest who said 50 people involved in those raids by the FBI, MAGA supporters. We find out that none of this has been in the news over the weekend. This is crazy. We find out that there is another grand jury, at least a second, if not a third, but there's another grand jury that's been reported by CBS News and confirmed by others against Donald Trump. accusing Donald Trump of embezzling funds, campaign funds, to funnel into his businesses. Basically, the Lincoln, the anti-Trump Lincoln Project ad. They have a grand jury investigating embezzlement charges against President Trump. So we got 2 grand juries, 2 indictments coming, 35 MAGA supporters' homes raided by the feds last week. Have you seen any of this on television? And then we get this secret trip by President Trump, unannounced, unscheduled, into Washington, D.C. None of this covered. Now, this story will seem minor in comparison to that because everything's minor in compared to a political purge taking place in the United States of America. But they hate MAGA, right? Let me play this clip again. This is Kamala Harris talking about September 11th yesterday.
On our calendars, at a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001. And January 6th, 2021.
Wow. She's comparing the January 6th Capitol breach to the Islamic Al-Qaeda Taliban-sponsored terrorist attack on America of 9/11 and the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Are you kidding me? I know. It's frightening, isn't it? That's where their mind is. See all these things going on. That's how they think. This is insane. And I'll tell you, after 9/11, a lot of you may have forgotten. It's been a long time, right? Here we are, 21 years later. But I remember, Steve and I were on the air live when that happened. But after 9/11, the media and the politicians ran out to tell the world for months that, listen, 19 hijackers who were Muslim did hijack these planes and did this. But that's only 19 out of the how many billions of Muslims there are. This is not a statement on Muslims. Islam is a religion of peace. This has nothing to do with Muslims. This was a group of people who did this. But now, even if their narrative about January 6th were true, and it's not, but even if it were, that's how many people out of 80 million? And that's and January 6th, even if their narrative was true, and again, it's not, but if it were, that's a statement on every MAGA supporter, what a group of people did on January 6th. But on 9/11, this has nothing to do with Muslims. It has nothing to do with Islam. I remember when I was a kid during the Iran hostage crisis, they used to do this. The media would tell you, hey, listen, this has nothing to do with Islam. This is Iran. They did the rogue state, all these things. During the Gulf War, there were similar things. But now they want to paint all the MAGA people with one broad brush. Guilt by association. But 9/11, oh no, that had nothing to do with... I'm not saying that it did, but I'm telling you that they went out of their way for a long time, and I know a lot of you remember that. So then Dr. Oz... Dr. Oz had a pretty interesting news event, pretty amazing news event at that, on Saturday. Complete cover-up on this, which is, the Dr. Oz race is probably the highest profile Senate race in the country because he's a celebrity, but he's backed by Trump. So anything good about Oz, you're not going to see out there. Like we were talking last week, Fetterman, that clip I played of Fetterman at the end of last week, the guy can't even put together a sentence because, and I saw a photograph of him. He's got this huge bump, kind of like on the back of his neck, lower of his head. Have you seen this picture? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what it is, but that doesn't look healthy. This huge bump, it's on the right side of his neck. I don't know what that is, but it cannot be good. And he can't put sentences together. So listen to this. On Saturday, Dr. Oz jumped a rail. He was at an event. He was speaking, okay? And those metal security rails? On Saturday, Dr. Oz jumped a rail and rushed into a crowd at his rally in Pennsylvania after a woman collapsed. Dr. Oz tended to the woman and gave her immediate medical care until medics came. Her name's Rita. And after medics came and she was safely taken away, Dr. Oz told the crowd, "Rita, God bless her, she's doing okay." And the Gateway Pundit, did any of you see this story? Dr. Oz may have saved a supporter's life in a crowd. You know, I've seen people sometimes do collapse at events. And because there's excitement, there's heat, there's claustrophobia if it's crowded and things like this. And I remember it used to happen at these Obama rallies. You guys remember this? And Obama just thought it was cool, like they were passing out. They think, he thought he was like Tom Jones with the women with the panties up on the stage. If someone collapsed at an Obama speech, Obama got excited. Wow, they're so excited to see me. They're collapsing. Dr. Oz jumps a rail, goes and tends to the woman, gives her immediate medical aid because he is a doctor, until the paramedics arrive. Now listen to what the Gateway Pundit, did you see this story? Probably not. Gateway Pundit, listen to this. If you try to find more on the story of Dr. Oz rescuing this woman on Twitter, you will have to sift through dozens of attack tweets first. Twitter is starting early this year with his anti-GOP algorithms. I saw this in Breitbart, by the way. Breitbart reported this: Dr. Oz, the celebrity doctor and Republican Senate candidate in Pennsylvania, rushed into the crowd to help a woman who collapsed during his campaign rally in Bucks County on Saturday. 1,200 supporters turned out to see Dr. Oz at this Bucks County event Saturday. 1,200! Fetterman, that speech that he gave last week when he couldn't put the sentences together, asking people to vote for him and send him to New Jersey, remember that? Where he was going to get some work done in New Jersey, whatever he was talking about. He had a dozen or so union thugs that were there. Dr. Oz had over 1,200 people. And he very well may have saved the life of a woman in attendance, at least rendered medical aid. Not a single story about either of those. But Fetterman, at that speech he gave with a dozen or so union thugs, that's all over the news as if it was some momentous event. It is amazing that any Republican has gotten elected to be dog catcher somewhere. When you look at how the media cover Republicans. And remember, media bias isn't just a spin on a story. Media bias, most of media bias is what stories they choose not to cover. Dr. Oz had more people at his rally on Saturday than Fetterman probably has had at his last 10 events combined, and he may have saved a woman's life there. Media blackout. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll go to your calls after the break. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We're here weekday mornings, 5 to 9 a.m. We'll take a quick break and be back with your calls after this. 888-465-2631. Steve Kane Show. Hey, Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Be right back, guys.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hey, it's Tracy from the Lake Vintage and pocket watches too. Lake Worth Gold Mine, where time is money. Conveniently located at the Turnpike and Lake Worth Road. For hours and more info, visit us online at lakeworthgoldmine.com. That's lakeworthgoldmine.com.
Are you feeling over the hill? Tired? Sluggish? Taking those midday naps? Just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel call Dr. Mitch Vitez at the Fire Station West El Rey and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Take it from me. I'm a patient. It works. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
Okay, so how crazy high are these gas prices right now, right?
It's not that he treated a lady. First off, Dr. Oz had 1,200, they said over 1,200 people showed up to see Oz Saturday. Over 1,200. That's a lot. No Trump there. That's a lot. Fetterman gets a dozen, maybe 20, maybe 2 dozen if he's lucky, and they're union thugs that are paid to be there. Okay? And a woman collapses, and he goes and renders medical care to her. That's amazing. And he jumped over a rail to do it. He got Shrek Fetterman there. He couldn't even hobble over there if he had to. Okay, we're coming back.
There's our competition where you can get your boo on. Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, we are back. It is the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. It is Monday. Welcome, everyone. Callers on hold, stand by. You know what my wife and I started doing over the weekend? What do you think? What do you think? It's September 12th. My wife and I, over the weekend, we started Christmas shopping. Yeah, we Christmas shop. We started Christmas shopping early, so that by the time Christmas is here, we don't have to spend a lot of money. You do it over time, makes it a little easier, doesn't it? And you should start Christmas shopping right now at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout. I'm going to tell you why. There's incredible deals going on right now at mypillow.com. MyPillow has not updated their specials for Christmas. Some of these specials right now are so good, they are not going to be there at Christmas. I'm telling you, including the MyPillow My Slippers, which are $90 off, all styles, all sizes, for both men and women, $90 off with the promo code Kane at checkout. Huge, huge specials on the 6-piece MyPillow towel sets, just $44.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. The 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, which my wife and I sleep on every night, just $39.99 with the promo code Kane. There are many other specials there too, including 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on. It will change your life, that 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can take advantage of all those specials you see there with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at checkout. And this is a great time because these are great deals, and you're not going to see a lot of them at Christmas time when they do the update. So start your Christmas shopping now, just like I did. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at checkout. All right, we're going to go back to the phones, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'm calling. I'm Glenda from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I seen on Twitter this morning, I don't know how true it is, but they said...
Nah, that would be breaking news. For a checkup? I hope?
They just said that he, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there's a lot of speculation because what if you're just tuning in, there's been a lot of news that's happened over the weekend, none of which you would know because the news has been covering the Queen's death for day after day, and then yesterday was 9/11, President Trump flew on his jet unannounced, nothing on Truth Social, No announcements to Washington, D.C. I found out about it from Jack Posobiec, who's he's on the inside, and even he didn't know why. So there's a lot of speculation. We had a call in the last hour who thinks Trump's been indicted, and that's why he's there. You're saying you saw someone saying Walter Reed. I like the Walter Reed checkup speculation better than showing up for the indictment. But even then, it's very unusual. First of all, for President Trump to return to D.C. is unusual, and even if we knew, but to do it without an announcement's pretty shocking, you know.
I think if they indicted him, it would be all over the news.
I would hope so, but you never know. You would never know. You don't know. You don't know that. Look. The only reason we knew about the break-in of Mar-a-Lago was because President Trump made it public. They did not want that public. And he immediately went... If Donald Trump did not go public with the Mar-a-Lago raid, it would have come out that something happened there, but we wouldn't know. We still wouldn't know, probably. All right, Glenda, take care. Thanks for the call. I hope she's right. I do. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's the number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Senator Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Did you hear Senator Johnson last night saying how the Democrats are spending $50 million against him just for a cent? Dark money.
Are you talking about Oz?
No, Senator Johnson.
Oh, Johnson. Okay.
Senator Johnson, a MAGA guy, and $50 million against him. The dark money is out there.
Well, that's how important each one of these Senate seats are. I got a message from a listener over the weekend who was they claimed to be very upset with me because I'm supporting Marco Rubio over the Democrat Val Demings, and they said, "Oh, you were so against Marco." Listen, in the first campaign, Marco Rubio said terrible things about President Trump. That was 7 years ago. Okay. When President Trump was in his first term, to me, it seemed like Marco Rubio stood firm with Donald Trump during Trump's first term. Okay, I see no reason why he wouldn't continue to do so. I got to forget about the hand jokes and all of that Marco Rubio did in the first campaign back in those debates in 2015 in the 16 race. I mean, we're gonna not support him because of some things that happened in the primary 7 years ago, and let this Black Lives Matter Democrat Val Demings become the senator from Florida? I don't think so. And the same goes for... I want you guys to think about this story with Dr. Oz. First off, Dr. Oz has a rally Saturday night in Pennsylvania. Over 1,200 people show up. Not only did a woman collapse that he rendered medical aid to, because he's a medical doctor, until paramedics arrived, he ran and jumped a metal railing to save her. Here you've got Fetterman, who has some large bump on the back of his neck, had a stroke, can't put sentences together at the speech, gets 24 union guys at a rally that are paid to be there and bust in by the union. And you think he could jump the rail? If he would have to knock the rail down. He wouldn't be able to get over it, and he wouldn't be healthy enough to render. And a complete media blackout on this Dr. Oz race. Don't you see what they're doing?
Is corrupt, lie. I mean, I met somebody I know who's a liberal. I had my mega hat on. He said, "Oh, how can you wear that hat? Trump has raped women and tried to overthrow."
Oh, Trump raped women? Who did he rape?
I said, really, who did he rape? I never heard that. I'll take my mega hat off. You can tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I don't know. But this is what the media tells them. Then they buy it and they listen.
Yep. All right, Conservative Doug, thanks for the call. Oh, last week on the program, there was a bit of a controversy with Greg 2 calling in. We were talking about the lady jogger that was picked up, and I was telling him, I was saying on the air, he called in to respond to it, that feminism has resulted in all kinds of, women getting in all kinds of trouble, raped, killed, all kinds of things. And what I mean by that is, before the era of feminism, women did not go out alone. They would have a chaperone, usually a brother, a cousin, a father, at least other girls. But what feminism has done is have women going out there being independent women and getting in all kinds of trouble, like that jogger. Well, listen to this. A 21-year-old woman visiting New York City from St. Louis was raped on a subway platform on Thursday. The attacker approached the female tourist, 21-year-old girl, in the big city alone on the subway. He first approached her at a bus terminal. He offered to help her navigate the subway station. She accepted. He rode the subway with her to another subway station, led her to the end of the platform in a tunnel where he raped her. The attacker was last seen wearing burgundy and gold shorts with black and white Crocs. Crocs? Crocs are back, I guess. Women should not be traveling alone. And I'll tell you this, tourists should not be going to New York City. That's it. Don't go to New York City. It's Snake Plissken's Escape from New York up there. But women should not be out alone anywhere these days. Look at this. This is an example of what I was talking about. All right, listen, we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. We'll be back with Steve Kane after this. This is an example of what I was talking about. All right, listen, we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. We'll be back with Steve Kane after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Three, 1, 2, 3.
Weekend, our daytime highs in the low 90s again today. It's going to be hot and humid. Some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be strong later on this afternoon. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Delray Beach, a disabled vehicle is blocking your right shoulder on I-95 heading northbound just beyond Linton Boulevard. I-95 northbound ramp to Okeechobee Boulevard, a disabled vehicle is blocking the right shoulder there. The left shoulder is blocked in Palm Beach Gardens along 95 heading northbound just beyond PGA Boulevard. The service streets
Hey, Neil. I think, Neil, we're getting more coverage about the Queen here in America than you're getting over there.
Forest Hill Boulevard. And we're also seeing some light traffic start to form on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield into Boca.
Hey, everyone in the chat, tell me where you're located. Like, what state, what city, what country, where are you located?
Let's get great deals on top accessories, including docks.
Just out of curiosity.
Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call Dell Technologies Advisor at 877-ASK.
Arkansas.
That's traffic. Chris Paul.
Pennsylvania.
This is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom
Liverpool, wow.
countertops, providing luxury design and insulation.
Ohio. Lots of people in Arkansas. We're hot in Arkansas today.
Personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 26.
Cleveland. The heart of rock and roll is Cleveland. Huey Lewis in the news.
561-646-8560. That's 561-646-8560.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive?
Tampa.
Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire
Canada.
on both new and used tires.
Lighthouse Point, right down the street.
That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance.
West Australia. Holy smokes. That's literally, West Australia is so far from where I'm at that once you're there, you're coming back to Florida. Kentucky. Wyoming. Australia again. Australia MAGA. That's amazing. Melbourne. Wow. That's really amazing.
right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
Mississippi, New Jersey, Bronson, Texas.
Or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have
Yeah, people ask, this is a shirt a listener sent me. Top Gov, Ron DeSantis. Make America Florida. America's Freedom Zone. Wesley, $5 super chat, thank you. I believe Oz sealed his victory this weekend. Really? What makes you say that, Wesley? Little itch in the ear there. Sorry, guys. Devon, England. Marietta, Ohio. Wesley, another $5 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley. The crowd size and also him treating the woman until paramedics arrived. Yeah. The crowd size says a lot. Here we go.
Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Yes, we are back. I'm Brian. It's Monday morning. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. All right, I'm trying to get through all the news that the media have not been covering with their endless Queen coverage. But, oh, man.
It's your weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
I so look forward to the weekends to sit and watch Fox and catch up on all of the incredible news, although much of it lately has been a little anxiety-provoking. And good, what you get is and I kind of, I'm a bit of an Anglophile. I have daughters that live in England, and I kind of have a feeling for the English, but these extravagances are just more.
I'll tell you where they were getting too inside baseball. I'll give you an example. I was, there's been a lot of news that's happened, right? Dr. Oz had a massive rally. No Trump. He had over 1,200 people. Saved a woman's life. 50 MAGA people rounded up by the feds. It's being reported by Tucker Carlson. All these stories. And I turn on Fox yesterday morning, and I heard Martha McCallum talking to the guy who made the first official post of the death of the Queen, talk about what it was like to be part of a history of being the first person to announce the death of the Queen. And then I heard another discussion. Will Charles be the rock that his mother was as he takes on this role? Oh.
Charles, talk about, at least the Queen had you got some human feeling from her, Charles is just as dull as dishwater.
Well, two things about Charles, okay? One, there was some video of him right after he became king, after the Queen's death. Okay, and he's getting ready to sit down at this table, and it wasn't clean enough for his liking, and he starts making these really nasty hand gestures towards the servants. It really showed his true self. He's a nasty person. And then there's this new condition. I don't follow this stuff, but have you seen the thing about his puffy hands? I am allergic. Yeah, I'm allergic to wasps and I got stung once when I was a kid by a wasp, and my whole hand swelled up, like really bad, right? Both of his hands are like that naturally. They're red and very much swollen. It's very strange, this thing with the hands. But anyway, all this big news, and they cover it up with this endless Queen coverage. And then yesterday was 9/11, so that everybody on television has to tell you their 9/11. You know, let me tell you about your 9/11 stories. No one cares about your 9/11 story except you. We all have them. It's like I remember these license plates we used to see in Florida all the time. Let me tell you about my grandchildren. No one cares about your grandchildren but you. Okay? I mean, you know. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know about better than anybody, but we had a strange happening.
In studio, and he was convinced that it was just a small plane that had...
Well, what happened was, okay, I'll tell you, that's worthy of talking about, okay? That's worthy of talking about. We were, this is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show. So the Steve Kane Show has been on the air live during many historical events. I think it was Steve's first year when Teddy Roosevelt stormed up that hill in Cuba. No, but we were on the air live during 9/11, and we really did, and it happened. My phone was ringing, and this was off the air, and people were calling and said, "There's a terrorist attack. You got to." And Steve had a strict rule at the time, which after 9/11 we threw that out. Don't be on the internet and have no television on for the news during the show. It's distracting, and this is one of those things. So, and my wife calls and she says, you got to turn on. So I turned on the TV and I saw the second plane hit, and I thought it was a replay. I didn't know it was the second. I thought it was just one. So we found out what happened live on the air, and we had someone in studio who has Brian Craig derangement syndrome, which means hates me like the plague. And I went on the air and I said, there's a terrorist attack going on, and because the guy hates me like the Lincoln Project hates Trump. Oh, what do you know, Brian? It's probably just a sleepy air traffic controller. You dummy. And then look who turned out to look like the dummy that day. But oh my goodness. But then we were on the air that day, and then remember what happened when we had the imam in that week? Oh my goodness. Okay. I can't remember what day of the week 9/11 was. Does anybody remember what day of the week it was? But nah. But I remember I want to say it was the middle or end of Tuesday. Someone just told me on a Tuesday. So people were plenty pissed after 9/11 doing a talk show, and plenty pissed, and they were talking about Muslims and everything, and it was getting a little hairy and scary, and you and I were talking on the phone. I remember it was Saturday. It was the Saturday after 9/11. That's why I couldn't remember what day it was. And you said, the way things are going here, we should really have an imam in studio so he can come in and condemn the terror attacks and let everybody know. So we find that's right. So I called up the local mosque people, and on Monday we Steve, it's been 21 years, man. So we had an imam, a local imam here in South Florida, come live in studio, and he came in live in studio at 7:00. And the reason we brought him in here was to tell the world that he is an imam of this local mosque, condemns 9/11. Islam condemns 9/11. Nothing to do with it. We condemn these people. Not only would he not condemn 9/11, he was telling us why what drove these hijackers to do it. And then he started talking about the Jews. and talked to, and there was this strange, and keep in mind this was the Monday after 9/11. The Monday after 9/11. He was talking about, yeah, and he was talking about this bizarre story of how all the Israelis, because all Jews are Israelis, right, Steve? You're Israeli, right? Because you're a Jew. How the Israeli, I'm not kidding, the Monday after 9/11, he had this whole detailed story about how the Jews got out of the World Trade Center before the planes hit, because they were tipped off by Israel, and something about remote controlled, something about how it wasn't hijackers on the planes, that it was some type of remote control device inside the cockpits that the Israelis put in there, and we were this all came out, by the way, in the first segment, and we took a break. You told him, what is this about? You know, we're trying to calm people down, because after 9/11, you know, we were on a war footing. You know, they're still pulling people out of the rubble.
Skeptically of the Muslim.
Exactly. So what I just told you happened, that was in the first segment. You took the break early. This was like in the first 5 to 7 minutes after the break. You took the break like 10 minutes early. You talked to the imam during the break, like, what, you know, and he said, okay. We came back from the break, and he had even more things blaming the Jews and all of this. And then you thanked him for his time, and boom, took the break about 30 seconds after we came back from the last break. Yeah, and then when we left, we went outside. The building was surrounded by police officers. So it was a scary day. It was a scary day.
The police, I'm talking yesterday about...
It wasn't us. It was the imam they were looking for. You know?
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean, so that was our 9/11 week, and we don't want to hear all your 9/11 stories, by the way, do we, Steve? I don't know. But that was a scary time. But the reason I bring that up, though, is not just because we want to tell a 9/11 story, because I don't like doing that. We went out of our way to tell everyone that after 9/11, that all Muslims weren't that way, okay? And here we have Kamala Harris over the weekend telling us that all Trump supporters are terrorists, right? Because she compared January 6th to 9/11 in Pearl Harbor. Now listen, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of this hour. We'll come back. There's a lot to talk about. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. We'll be back with your calls after this quick break. Take our last break of this hour. We'll come back. There's a lot to talk about. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. We'll be back with your calls after this quick break.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, no, he was never back. No, he was never back.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40...
It was Tuesday, yeah.
283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom LaPorta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom LaPorta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
especially in Boca. Known for its professionalism and uniquely talented staff, we're excited to offer a free consultation for every new client. We're looking forward to welcoming you to our appointment today and get 20% off any hair service.
Located at 7600 North Federal Highway in Boca, or check us out on IG at Denise Hair Salon and 561-826-8704.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Man, you suffer from ED? If so, you know it can be very frustrating, not just for you, but your partner too. Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West LA can help. Call for a free consultation at 561-320-8893. Call now and get your record back on demand. Ladies, make an appointment for your man too. 561-320-8893.
Yes. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. Our number 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. Now, yesterday, Steve and I did something we haven't done in a long time. We got together on the weekend and had an incredible meal at Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company in Pompano. Oh, man, Steve, was that not great?
Last wife, my ex-mother-in-law, whatever, she lived on Staten Island, and she was known for her great Italian cooking. And I just haven't had good Italian food since I've been in Florida, to tell you the truth. And this restaurant, Anna Marie's Pizzeria, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable food.
Oh, yeah.
Brian was so generous. He took me there yesterday. He said, Steve, I want you to try this food. And man, it was absolutely great.
Well, let me tell people what we had. Let me tell people what we had yesterday. Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, by the way, is located in Pompano, just north of Copans on the west side of US 1 Federal Highway, in the same plaza as the movie theater. Now, I had the baked ziti, which comes with garlic rolls, and Steve, the portion was massive. I didn't just have it for lunch, I had it for dinner too last night. And yeah, and we had an appetizer that Steve ordered a second appetizer of to have for your meal, the lobster ravioli, which
whole lobster claws, just overstuffed with lobster, and with the goat cheese and melted.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was an incredible meal. And let me tell you now, Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, located in Pompano, just north of Copans Road on the west side of US 1 Federal Highway, same plaza as the movie theater, and they're open for lunch and dinner. You can call them at 954-889-6600. 954-889-6600. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Radio Show. Oh, man.
Do have that that dish I had with lobster. That's
the lobster ravioli. The lobster ravioli.
Looking for lobster for a long time, and this is just out of this world. And also try the Jerry's banknotes, they call it, made with this homemade pizza crust that's fine and crispy and kind of crackles, and when you bite into it, And if you're a lobster lover, this is better than a whole lobster. I mean, it's unreal. And if you like pizza, the pizzas are spectacular. We're going to do some listener spots on this, so if you give it a try, give me a call on the air, let me know what you thought.
They have planes that fly here, Jeff.
End up in a Steve Kane commercial here. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, boy, I know. I tell you, I like to do the food commercials towards the end of the show because my stomach starts to growl. I'm getting hungry now, listening to our own spots here. Okay, so a lot of news over the weekend, and I want, before I get to some of the stuff I haven't mentioned yet, I just want to bring up a couple things I was talking about in the 6 o'clock hour because I want to hear what you think about them, Steve. Okay. Steve Bannon, we talked on Friday's show. Steve Bannon surrendered to the authorities in New York on these trumped-up charges, and we found out a couple things over the weekend. We found out, one, that there's a second grand jury investigating Trump. This is nothing. You've got the one case about this Mar-a-Lago classified document nonsense, but there's another grand jury we just found out about through CBS News that has been confirmed in other media outlets. There's a second grand jury investigating President Trump embezzling campaign funds. They're going to get not just one, but it looks like, Steve, multiple indictments against President Trump here. And then Steve Bannon, he gets out of jail. He goes and talks to Charlie Kirk and tells us that 35 MAGA homes were raided by the FBI last week. What's going on here?
It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening.
But it's real.
It's turning this into a police state.
It looks like it is one. I mean, it's hard to believe these things are even happening. It's very surreal, and it's happening without any media coverage. And I.
Events have played into their hands in a way with the Queen's death and the 9/11. It has permitted them to fill up the airwaves with a lot of hot air of things that are. I mean, I suppose you can't say 9/11 is not a significant event, but I mean, at this point in time in our history, there are more important things to.
Well, let's put it in perspective, Steve. Let's put it in perspective. Now, I was not around 21 years after Pearl Harbor in 1962, but on December 7th every year, was there endless media coverage on the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1962, 21 years later? I don't think so. I don't think so, no.
The media's evolved a long way since then.
Well, the media cover 9/11 so much on 9/11 every year, even though it's 21 years later, because a lot of the media were there when it happened, so it's about them.
Parlay with between the Queen and the 9/11, it was like two events rolled.
Yeah, but the Queen coverage is overdone like nothing I could have ever dreamed. I mean, I can imagine, and nah.
Before I say they always do that, I mean, this Queen has been there for a long time.
Yeah, well, she's not our Queen.
Well.
And the way, and you have these. Of course, the story should be reported, and I'll watch the funeral and the coronation and all that because it's a big deal. But it's not worth 24 hours of coverage on Fox News Channel for 3 or 4 days when you have 35 MAGA supporters' homes raided by the FBI. Okay, it's just not. And this story, I was correct.
Really important.
That's right. It fits right into what they want and what they need, and that's exactly right. They're using it as a diversion away from this news that they don't want to talk about. And I got to tell you, this out of all there are a handful of all the races aren't important, but there's a couple of high-profile races, right? Kari Lake in Arizona and Dr. Oz, and Dr.
Oz, I'm glad to.
I was always telling people to vote for Dr. Oz. Trump endorsed him.
Reluctantly.
Well, you got to do. Yeah, well, you got to do what Trump says. But Dr. Oz over the weekend had a rally alone with 1,200 people in attendance. Fetterman can get a dozen or two, and there are union thugs that are bussed in and paid to be there. That in itself, having over 1,200 people at an Oz event in this race that they're telling us Fetterman is winning, is a big story. But when he jumped the security railing, he leaped over it like in the Olympics when they jump hurdles. Yeah, well, he's in shape. He's the doctor. He jumped over this metal railing to attend to this woman who had collapsed until paramedics arrived at the rally. None of that is in the news because the Queen, Charles, and 9/11. The media bias, I was telling this to people, media bias, most of it is not in a spin on a story. It's what stories they choose not to cover or what stories they choose to cover. That's the biggest media bias. Yeah. And this, without jumping the railing to help the woman, Dr. Oz, having 1,200 people. I've seen multiple events with Fetterman. Okay, there's not been more than 20 or 30 people, including press, at any of them. And for Dr. Oz, without President Trump with him, to pull in over 1,200 people is huge.
Yeah.
And
Fetterman's another one of these let everybody out of prison guys.
Yeah.
It's just what we need.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's just what you want.
Killers.
But this, I don't know how much longer they're going to drag out this royal coverage on Fox. But if another week.
Funeral is scheduled a week from today.
Yeah, but then they got all the coronation and all that BS with Charles. That's going to go on for a while. You know, London Bridge is falling. Enough. There's real news happening in America. You know, and there's no doubt that they're involved. At first I thought, well, you know, they got the Sky News connection, right, the Murdoch, so they got a lot of ties over there. And then when I saw this massive news over the weekend that they didn't cover, then I realized, okay, this is just a cover-up of the real news, what they're doing. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Well, we're not at the end yet. We got over an hour to go. But in the next hour, we're going to go back to the phones at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Have you seen the story of the Democrat in Vegas that killed a reporter?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I got a clip here I want to play about that. And a Democrat politician killed a reporter because they were writing negative coverage about him. Listen to this. This was a press conference with the police, and you hear a reporter in the background. I may have to tell you what the reporter asked, but this is disgusting. Listen, this is the reporter asking the chief of police a question about the Democrat politician murdering the reporter in Vegas.
You are now probably not appropriate time to talk politics, but
So why are we talking politics then?
you condemn former President Trump's normalization of violence against journalists?
Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what this idiot reporter said. Is this murder related to President Trump's villainizing the media? Okay, so they're blaming President Trump for the murder.
No, I think this is probably the inappropriate venue to speculate on that or opine on that. I think it needs to be stated and noted that it is troublesome because it is a journalist, and we expect journalism to be open and transparent and a watchdog for government.
Yeah, watchdog for government. So they're the media, and by the way, National Public Radio had a similar story over the weekend, and they left out that the politician was a Democrat that killed the journalist. They're even leaving that out of a lot of stories. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back with your calls in the 8 o'clock hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back with your calls in the 8 o'clock hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope hope you're doing well and had a great weekend. Our daytime highs in the low 90s again today. It's going to be hot and humid, and we have a chance of some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be strong later on this afternoon. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are still incident free at this time. We're looking pretty good from Boca Raton to Jupiter. Just going to find some slight delays on 95 heading northbound passing 45th Street and Blue Heron Boulevard. We're pretty slow on Okeechobee Boulevard eastbound towards 95. And we still have construction going on Southern Boulevard eastbound on Flagler Drive. There's 2 right lanes blocked there. Southbound 95 is regaining some speed now, passing Atlantic Avenue and Linton Boulevard. We're up to full speed once again on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield to Naboka. The Turnpike North End southbound still slow passing Lake Worth Road. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle: air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's Draft. I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Great Britain preparing for next Monday's state funeral for Queen Elizabeth.
The Queen will lie in state in London for 4 days starting on Wednesday. Members of the public are being warned to expect long lines and security checks, and visitors are also being asked to dress appropriately and stay silent inside Westminster.
ABC's Ines de la Catera in London, where security may become an issue for the heads of state heading for the funeral.
According to Politico, world leaders are being told they cannot use their own state cars. Instead, they will have to be bussed over together from a location in West London. The White House has said President Biden would attend the funeral, but it has not commented on those latest reports.
No school again today in Seattle. Union teachers have been on strike since last week Wednesday. School district said negotiations are continuing. The major freight railroads are preparing for the possibility of a strike or lockout, which could begin as early as Friday. This is ABC News.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Get it off your chest. Just call in 888-GO-KANE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we are back with the 8 o'clock hour of this Monday morning edition of the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Let me ask you, Steve, are you still a big Zelensky fanboy? I don't know. Oh.
Well, it turns out I was noticing you were kind of skipping over that. It looks like he's going to win this war. Make it all worthwhile.
No, this war is... How many months has it been going on, this Russian-Ukrainian conflict? I don't know, a few months?
It is. We can fight it now, or we can...
Fight it in Europe, and then Brooklyn, and then Miami Beach. Okay. First off, this war is not going to be ending. All right. Well, there's an update. I don't blame... you hear that? You sure you're a fanboy? I just want to bring something up to you.
You want to deal with it when it turns out that Zelensky was right.
About what?
He's going to win.
Win what?
He's going to stop the Ruskies.
Oh, no. They're not... No. They're not going to... This war is going to go on for years, Steve. They're not going to let it end. There's too much money in it. Let me just share this story here. He's not going to win anything or lose it. This is going to be just like Vietnam. This is a 10-year conflict at least. I had this story earlier. It's so strange. Zelensky is going to speak to the U.S. defense industry conference. You know, it's like the home show of the defense industry, but as opposed to kitchens, refrigerators, dishwashers, and grills, they have missiles and tanks and planes. You know.
For it. Please forget.
For what? For what?
Discussion. Trying to make as a hero in this thing, and it was done an admirable job in a very difficult situation, and it was turning out to, through his guts and fight and perseverance, and
oh my goodness!
If you want to,
got his press agent on the line.
If you want to talk about something that you want to attack me on, it's the one damn thing that Biden got right, and adding to the support of what's going on over there, and it turns out we're going to win it. And
no, they're not. No.
Pass.
Nothing's going to get cut off. Nothing's going to be. Listen, the ones that are going to win are the military contractor donors to the politicians in Washington. These military people. He's addressing the military trade show, okay, so that he can ask them to pressure all the people they have on the take, the members of Congress that they donate money to buy more weapons from them to send to. Well, let me open up the phones to it, because this is, in my opinion, this is going to be at least a 10-year. Well, when Trump will end it in 2024, perhaps, but it's going to be going on for as many years as they can make it go on, because we ended the war in Afghanistan, and now, you know, the military-industrial complex, they're owed. They donated money to these Democrats. They're owed, so they got to keep the military expenses going. But Zelensky is winning nothing. He's losing nothing. No one will win or lose this war for many years to come because of that. And if you think Zelensky's going to be winning, it's crazy.
The Russians take over.
Yeah, why not? How would that change our lives? It used to be. It was Russia for a long time anyway. Yeah. But I'll why? What is there to be embarrassed about? It's a fake war. It's a fake war. You know, listen, Steve. They end the 20-year war in Afghanistan, and then like 10 minutes later, this one just coincidentally and very conveniently starts up right away. I mean, how many more? Okay, somebody said, how many more billions should we send to Zelensky? What do you think, Steve? No, Steve's on a strike now. Okay, Steve's on a sit. He's like Martin Luther King. He's doing a sit-in. Well, I'll give out the numbers because I don't think this war is ever going to end. It's not meant to end. And our number 1-888-GO Kane 1. I did see the. Well, what do you want to talk about then? You don't like my topics? I'll throw it to you. I mean, you know, I brought up a lot of things.
What's going on over here is very scary with the upcoming election.
Well, this is what's going on over here too, though. This is part of it.
That's a diversion.
No, it's part of it. It's part of all of it. It's part of what's going on here. All right, our number 1-888-GO Kane 1. I don't blame Steve for not wanting to talk about it. Yeah, but the number 1-888-465-2631, and we'll go to the phones, and you're free to talk about any of the topics we've brought up in the last few hours on the program. We brought up a lot of them today. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Dave from Magna Martin County again.
Hey, Dave.
David, we spoke about Lady Lincoln, Liz Cheney, but now I'd like to give my input about the Ukrainian-Russian conflict.
Yes.
To go, Lindsey Graham with John McCain, Amy Klobuchar, and Chris Murphy went to the Ukraine, and it's on video, and they were saying, we're going to give you weapons, and we're going to get offensive with the Russians. This was interrupted by the election of...
Yeah.
So, I believe it was pre-decided, and Donald Trump was in their way.
Well, this is the thing. One of the biggest lobbying groups in Washington is the military contractors. We all know this. You can't end a war and not start another one. Your donors got to make money.
Oh, proxy war. Yes, lots of money.
Exactly.
And then Mark Milley, I call him a bag of dropsy.
Mm-hmm.
He is okay
Well, well, hey, listen, all those weapons we left behind, we got to buy them again from our donors. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Russia will never give up the Donbass section. It's done. They have that now. And I don't think there will be a winner. I agree with you.
Yeah. That's right. All right, take care from MAGA Martin County. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air. I hear them breathing. Once, twice. All right. They thought better of themselves. Must have, I don't know exactly. Oh, you know, Charlie Crist, who's running a losing campaign against our great governor, Ron DeSantis. I'm wearing a Ron DeSantis t-shirt today. See, this is a good one. It says Top Gov on it, and it's got Ron DeSantis on it. It's a pretty cool t-shirt. Pretty cool t-shirt. But Charlie Crist he left Florida on his campaign. He traveled to New York City and visited the Coven of the View. And let me play this clip. This is Charlie Crist with Joy Behar on The View Friday.
Your opponent, Ron DeSantis, refuses to come on this show.
That's a shame.
So I say, if you're afraid, if you can't deal with us, how are you going to deal with, Kim Jong-un and Putin? If you can't even take on Sonny Hudson and Sarah Haynes. You know what I mean? It's like a cowardly move on his part.
Okay, so, oh my goodness. Could you imagine living with that voice? Oh, I'd rather listen to the nail on the chalkboard thing. But anyway, Joy Behar called Charlie Crist, or said to Charlie Crist that Ron DeSantis is a coward. She said, Ron DeSantis, our great governor, is a coward because he won't go on The View. Charlie Crist has to be aware of this. Joy Behar doesn't know what the heck's going on. Ron DeSantis is not only a veteran of the United States Navy, he's a combat veteran. He was embedded with the Navy SEALs, I believe, in Afghanistan. So to call a combat veteran a coward seems to be a bit of a stretch, and Charlie Crist, of course, agreed that he's a coward, this combat veteran, Ron DeSantis. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hello. Hello. I'm calling from, I'm just going to say the East Coast because I don't know if you're finding me here.
Okay.
My name, I don't want to say my name. I'm just going to say let's see.
Turn.
You called us. What's on your mind? We're up against a break, so.
All right. Well, I'm living in Rhode Island. It is a liberal household here, so I just want to know what the hell is really going on out there. Like, because all I get here is a lot of garbage news here that's just being thrown at me.
On Long Island. I thought you didn't want to say where you were calling from. Oh, you screw that one. Hey, listen, we're up against the break. What's happening here is you're in a liberal community run by liberals, and you only have access to liberal media on your local news. That's what's happening. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the last hour of today's show and be right back after this. And you only have access to liberal media on your local news. That's what's happening. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the last hour of today's show and be right back after this.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Is this guy with the pillows on Fox? My pillow guy.
Jeff from Maine, I'm just looking in the chat. That's not nice of you to say. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that. All right, apology accepted.
Triggered. The Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. I want to give everyone, Steve, an update on my knee after I was treated over a week ago. Oh, yeah, Dr. Philip Appleton, he's a chiropractic physician. He has this laser away pain system I was telling you all about last week. I want to give you an update. Now, I have had in my right knee for years terrible pain. You might have heard me gripe about it on the air from time to time because sometimes it was so bad I'd have to sit down on the filing cabinet behind me here. Sometimes I was in such bad pain. And I went in for 2 treatments last week with Dr. Philip Appleton with the laser away pain system Thursday, and then my second and final treatment was last Saturday, so 9 days ago. And I'm very happy to report 9 days later, not only is the pain gone, it hasn't returned at all, Steve. I mean, I don't even know I have a knee anymore, except when I'm doing the spot. I always knew I had a knee before because I was always suffering right there in my knee. And the pain was bad. It was like deep, and it was like at the bottom of my knee. And from the skateboard accident. Yeah, and part of it is because that right leg is what you kick with on the skateboard too, so it's a lot of impact, high impact on it. The laser away pain system works not just on knee pain, by the way. Dr. Appleton treats all kinds of pain, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis, hip pain, lumbar pain, sciatica, arthritis. If you've got pain, laser away pain with Dr. Philip Appleton can help you. Give him a call. Now listen, mention you heard about Dr. Appleton on the radio because it is a free consultation, but you got to mention that you heard him on the radio. And also, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. Because Dr. Appleton understands that when you're in pain, you need immediate relief. You can't wait a week or 2 weeks. You know how it is? You call these doctor's offices, and you're a new patient. We'll see you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Dr. Appleton will see you today. All right, here's the number: 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online AppletonChiro.com, and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. Yeah.
What I'd like to talk about, since an effort to get away from this Tucker Carlson.
Zelensky, yeah.
Zelensky.
Uh-huh.
You see Mark Levin last night?
A little bit, not too much of it.
Well, that's something to keep an eye on. I mean, Mark Levin is brilliant. I mean, he really is, and he cuts right to the heart of.
Well, what did he do? What do you have?
The country. Well, he was talking about what really matters, which is the coming election. The country at this point. This is a very serious election. I know everybody says that with every election, but this one is, it's really true with this. And he was talking about what's going on and how they got a police state going here.
Well, that's what I've been talking about for the last couple hours with this MAGA roundup. I mean, well, you know what I've noticed, Steve? Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. Let me do a quick recap of what I was talking about. Okay, and before Mark Levin. It first came from Steve Bannon after he got out of jail the other day, and Tucker Carlson covered it Friday night. 35 homes of MAGA supporters were raided last week by the FBI. We're not 100% sure what it was about, something related to January 6th. And there's a second grand jury investigating Donald Trump embezzling his PAC funds with his private businesses. And this roundup is insane. And I saw over the weekend Dr. Simone Gold from America's Frontline Doctors, who was sent to federal prison because of the trespassing on January 6th. She got out of prison after 2 or 3 months over the weekend, and we found out part of the time Dr. Simone Gold was held in solitary confinement, Steve. Can you imagine? And what I've noticed, and I want to hear what people think about this, but I've noticed callers don't talk about this stuff too much, and I think that they're kind of don't want to deal with it. I think they're kind of in denial about it, and talking about it, it makes them feel like it's really happening, and people don't want to think this is happening in our country, but it is.
The press has been basically negligent. If there was such a thing as malpractice of the press.
Well, I think it's by design, Steve. Let me tell you, Dr. Simone Gold, she was very high profile. She was on all the cable news with her press conferences and interviews, and her release from federal prison over the weekend, I didn't even see it. I saw it online, okay? And Louis Gohmert met her at the prison and gave her a flag that had flown above the Capitol. So, I mean, there's a big story there with the flag from Gohmert, her, who she is, and total media. It's not that they're negligent. They're part of an effort to cover up these stories. This is done by design. It's not that they're telling them that they're negligent. It gets them off the hook.
Very important point.
Yeah. All right. Listen, our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. And if you're new to the program, you may have noticed we're slightly partial to Donald Trump around here. And the Steve Kane Show, we air weekday mornings 5 till 9 a.m. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Randall calling from...
Hey, Randall.
Hey, how's it going, Steve? Brian, great show.
Thank you.
Sitting back and listening for quite some time now. I have a question, actually 2 quick questions. Do y'all remember the first and put it in effect, basically EO concerning president?
Well, tell us about it.
Well, there was an amendment to the presidential records, but what I thought was very interesting and how it ties into this, and this is the reason why I mentioned the term O'Biden, is because a Mother Jones article came out on January 21st, 2009. You can look it up, look up the headlines. Obama to Bush, I got your records, don't like it, sue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wanted to see what y'all's take was on that.
Well, everything that they do is about one thing and one thing only: stopping Trump and stopping MAGA. They want MAGA to go to the way of the Tea Party, which doesn't even exist anymore, right? And that's what they're trying to do to MAGA, and they think they can. What was your second question about? Everything they do is about that. What was your second point, caller?
There's 35 individuals raided, I guess, by the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that they subpoenaed Trump's telephone calls. I believe they have every phone call. I believe they have everything on the guy. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
Do you read? Let me ask you.
I think that Trump, let's assume they have all his telephone.
Yeah.
That Trump has anything to be, has done anything wrong or anything that he has to worry about?
No, absolutely not. The only thing I think, his main problem.
Oh, he's got all the politicians against him. Well, let me ask you, caller. Everything you said is right. Do you read anything into this unannounced, unscheduled, no publicity around Trump visiting Washington, D.C. over the weekend on his jet?
I can't, I can't speculate on that one way or the other.
It's very unusual for a former... Look at the deal. A former president returns to D.C. It's always news.
Let me ask you a question. Before we deal...
We're up against a break, so...
Perspective, but okay, but real quick, the question I want to deal with when we get back is that a fact?
That he went to Washington? No, Jack Posobiec reported it. He's pretty connected, and there's video of him getting off the plane on the runway. Jack Posobiec reported it. I saw it this morning. I heard about it, and I wasn't sure about it till I saw Jack Posobiec put it out on Twitter. No, he didn't have any details. He was as surprised as all of us are. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll go back to your calls after this break. Radio Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Steve Kane Show. Stand by. We'll go back to your calls after this break. Steve Kane Show.
Tired of
Hold on.
boring mornings?
I'll be right back, guys.
We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well and had a great weekend. Our daytime highs in the low 90s again today. It's going to be hot and humid, and we have a chance of some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be strong later on this afternoon. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are still incident-free at this time. We're looking pretty good from Boca Raton to Jupiter. Just going to find some slight delays on 95 heading northbound passing 45th Street and Blue Heron Boulevard. We're pretty slow on Okeechobee Boulevard eastbound towards 95, and we still have construction going on Southern Boulevard eastbound at Flagler Drive. There's 2 right lanes blocked there. Southbound 95 is regaining some speed now, passing Atlantic Avenue and Linton Boulevard. We're up to full speed once again on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield to Naboka. The Turnpike north and southbound still slow passing Lake Worth Road. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle: air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless.
Steve Kane Show.
The prices are painless too.
On
Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633.
No, I had to go and talk to the board op over at the radio station. That's where I went. That was not a bathroom break, guys. I saw someone made a crude comment about that.
Free consultation for every new client. We're looking forward to welcoming you to our new location. Book your appointment today and get 20% off any hair service.
By the way, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, make sure that you are subscribed. I was talking last week. Last week, 30.8% of you that watch me regularly here on YouTube Live are not subscribed to my channel. And a lot of times people think they're subscribed because you watch all the time. My videos come up in your recommendations and you're not subscribed. So if you could please check and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate that.
North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560. That's 561-646-8560.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling,
No, just a bad connection. My iPhone's on its last leg. I ordered the iPhone 14 over the weekend, but I'm not going to have it for a couple weeks. Stop using Ron DeSantis as an example of Kerry Lake's opponent. Well, I don't know what that means. Florida lawn, I don't get it.
This is Brian Craig, and I've suffered with intense knee pain for years. I thought it was something I just had to learn to live with until I met Dr. Appleton. He's a chiropractic physician, and he treated me with his amazing and effective laser away pain system. After the first treatment, I experienced an incredible amount of relief, and after the second treatment, my knee pain was gone. Dr. Appleton can help with more than just knee pain: arthritis, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar, sciatica, tennis elbow, neck pain. If you have pain, he can help. Laser therapy is FDA cleared. It minimizes pain, inflammation, and arthritis. It reduces recovery time so you can return to a pain-free life. It's completely painless too. There are no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. All the treatments are performed by Dr. Appleton.
You know, I hear people say that people get unsubscribed. I don't think I've ever been unsubscribed without my knowledge to any channel.
And say bye-bye to your pain. And make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
Seniors, how would you like to save money on your Medicare Part B premium? Don't pay too much. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and find out how much money you can save.
Steve Kane Show.
Prescription drug plans in 2023.
All right, hold on.
Find out how much money you can save on your prescription plan and Medicare Part B premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. No matter where you are in Florida, Debbie can help. 954-753-8080.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve is here. We're starting off a new week, getting out as much of the news that the mainstream press have been covering up all week and weekend that we possibly can, and we're here weekday mornings from 5 until 9 a.m. All right, there's one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Greg for DeSantis.
Okay.
You know, hey, you know what? Once again, shame on you, Brian. Thank God that the media, especially Fox News, paid tribute to 9/11.
Oh, what is that pause for? We supposed to? You gave us.
I'm waiting for your response. You were saying, oh, they.
Waiting for the applause.
What did he say that was worthy? What did you say that I'm responding to?
Well, don't you think the media should have paid attention to 9/11 and given?
I think okay. I'll do something that people probably don't do often with you. I'll treat you like a credible person and respond to your comments. 21 years after 9/11, obviously it should be mentioned, but to have all day long coverage of Maria Bartiromo crying and everything, 9/11 gets more coverage on 9/11 every year, 21 years later, than it should, because the media are in New York and they were there and it's about them. And like liberal-minded people like yourself, they love to talk about themselves.
Steve, what do you think about the coverage?
I think it's a little excessive.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just put it on in terms of entertainment. I find it's overdone and boring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's the same every year, and and you see, after a couple of years, it gets repetitious, don't you think?
Absolutely not. Once a year to cover it for a day.
Okay, all right. What else you got?
What else he's got?
As far as the other Ukrainian situation.
What else you got?
I got something for you, Greg. I got something for you. You said, excuse me. Oh, Steve, Greg, Open Phones is on Friday. believe me, you'll get to talk. I got a question for you, though, a little follow-up on a story I mentioned earlier. Last week I was talking the dangers of women, single women walking alone. New York City over the weekend, 21-year-old girl, a tourist, alone on the subway, raped by a man in the subway tunnel. You still want to stick to this thing about women walking alone?
It was more towards your feminist movement aspect of it, but also, guess what? There's going to be attacks in the United States. One attack, you're creating like it's like
I'm creating like there's a crime wave in New York. Okay, there's no crime wave in New York.
I've met you in person. You're not an imposing figure. Most guys could attack you easily more than a female.
Oh yeah, yeah. See how let's. Oh, I'm not as big as you. Well, that's where excuse me, that's where the Glock 48 comes in handy. If I'm attacked by people, I don't ever remember meeting you. Where did I meet you? Where did I meet you?
You met me at that Boca Raton train station where you had one of your financial advisors give a presentation.
Oh yeah, right down the street from the radio station. I have no recollection of. I remember the event, but not you. You must not be a. Oh, we did. Oh, he hid. He hid. He came and watched us, Steve, and didn't cut this. He came to our personal appearance, and you must not be an imposing man. There must have been a reason. No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Well, hey, listen. It was enough. It was enough to keep you in fear of approaching me or Steve.
I was in fear.
Well, you didn't introduce yourself to Steve. You came to a personal appearance. Hold on. You didn't want to be that appearance. I remember that. It was an unusual one. It was around 10 a.m. in a work week. So in a work week, you left your law office, came to a personal appearance that Steve Kane and I had, and you didn't say hello to either of us. Isn't that odd, Steve? Don't you think that's odd?
Brian, you were on your phone the entire time.
I was talking to all kinds of. I met all kinds of listeners there. But I mean, all right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. Don't you think that's weird, Steve? Odd? He came to an appearance, that big mouth guy came to an appearance of ours and didn't come up to you or me? I'm not, there's something about him that he didn't want us to see.
An interesting calling.
There's something about his appearance he didn't want us to see. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Interesting and strange. You're on the air. Good morning, caller. Once. Oh, there you go. You're on the air.
Good morning. Hey, Brian.
Hey, caller.
My name is Corey from Bedminster, New Jersey.
Hey, Corey.
I want to talk about the January 6th and why we're not saying anything right now, at least in my...
Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. All right, boom. First, I dumped what he said. And if you're on hold, stand by. I got to wait for the dump to build back up. Oh my goodness, two buttes in a row. 2 buttes in a row. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it's fun. I wish I get to. Well, that guy, I'd rather talk to Greg too than that last guy. What that last guy said, he knew exactly what he was doing. I'm the only one that heard it other than him, and I can't tell you what he said. I'll tell you after the show if you remind me, Steve. But I wish things like that were allowed on the air, and just so that people could hear what the left are all about, right? And what MAGA's up against. It's outrageous. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning. Hey, this is Paula from New Jersey.
Hey, Paula.
Hey, I got to see you, Steve, the other day, and I have to say you're very handsome.
Oh, when you came in here, you saw him on YouTube. Yes.
Kind.
Yes. And I also want to say that I was wrong about the leader of Ukraine.
Oh, Zelensky.
So I thought he was a big loser, and I thought people were falling for his silly and obvious charms.
And they have, in a way, because I think he just used his skills and his persuasion to beat the Russian army. I think they folded. Crumbled.
How about that the Russian army has always been a joke? I see. I believe the whole Cold War was a lie like this. It's all fake. It's all fake for the military companies to make money.
I'm there's so much involved in war and so many things we don't know what's going on. But if we're just looking at what happened in Ukraine and the fact that how much money we have given him because he's asked for,
And they're giving him more all the time.
so like how can you say like he hasn't been good for his people? Because for a while there I thought he was going to.
Are you being sarcastic? I'm not.
I'm really being real.
Oh, okay, okay. You're okay. You and Steve should get along well. Steve, you're a Zelensky fangirl then.
No, I can't stand him. I think he's a big phony, but he used his phoniness and his skills or whatever to seemingly win this war.
If Russia was a tenth of the threat they want us to believe, Ukraine would be under Russian control right now.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seen it. We've just seen it in action, and we're like, wow, do we realize that their army is in such bad shape?
Yeah. No, I think so. All right. Hey, listen. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Chris from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Chris.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the seriousness of the police state that you guys brought up earlier, but this Zelensky thing, it really is a big piece of the puzzle. And international politics and money, it really is huge. This Zelensky guy, they line their pockets just as much as the average Democrat leader. I was in the Marine Corps back in the 80s, and there's a lot of money that goes through hands. And you know who benefits the most from the false fear, as you say, from the Russian politics and Cold War? Democrats. So we see that in the Biden thing, of course, where the money changed hands a lot. But yeah, no, there's a lot to that. I mean, more people should really look into that, but it is a smoke screen, it's perception.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me ask you a question unrelated to this. Do you think it's strange that Greg, too, came to a personal appearance and did not introduce himself to Steve or to me?
Very, very, very strange.
It's weird.
Pull that out of him. Pull that out.
That is so weird, isn't it?
Good morning, please. Regular caller. He was chronic on and off. And to come to an appearance like you said, you even brought out the fact that it was a work day, and he still didn't make himself known.
Yeah, 10 a.m. on a work day. I was worried about doing that. I said, I don't know, Steve, doing an appearance 10 a.m. during the work week, and the place was sold out. By the way, that appearance, by the way, is a full house. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. Always interesting observations. All right. There's one opening on our board at 1-888-GIL-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Always interesting observations. All right. There's one opening on our board at 1-888-GIL-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, we are back, and it's time, as we do every day at this time on the Steve Kane Show, to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. Well, how's the week starting with the metals, William Youngerman?
Metals are starting this week up very strong, as well as last week finishing very strong. We saw gold close out the week at $1,717.10, which was up $8.20 after hitting a high on Friday of $1,731. Silver got up to $19.03 on Friday, closing out the week at $18.83, which was up 31 cents. Platinum closed at $8.78, and palladium closed up $37 last week at $21.07. This morning, the rally continues as the dollar continues to fall. Gold getting up to $1,735 so far this morning, currently at $1,730. That's up $12.90. Silver up 72 cents at $19.55 the ounce. Platinum up $17 at $895, and palladium up another $63 at $2,170. So the market's very strong on a weaker dollar as we anticipated.
Yeah, now, William Youngman, I wanted to ask you about something. With gold, silver, platinum, these coins, they come in many, from many different mints of many different countries. And with the passing of the Queen, I do know that Queen Elizabeth is on some of the world coins. Do you have any coins in the different metals, gold, silver, platinum, that have the Queen on them?
Yes, indeed. The Australia's Perth Mint coins come with the kangaroo on one side, the beautiful Queen on the obverse in gold, silver, and platinum, as does the Canadian Maple Leaf in gold, silver, and platinum, come with the Queen on them.
Wow. So, that's an interesting thing, because this is an opportunity that people have not had in a long time, because the Queen reigned for 70 years, but you can actually get coins in the final year of her reign, which would be an interesting thing to have, I think, in all of these. Well, listen, if you can't make it in person to William Youngerman's today, you can do business with him over the phone. And I'm guessing William Youngerman coins with the Queen on them are going to be selling like hotcakes. People are going to want to be snatching those up. They open up over at William Youngerman's weekdays at 10 a.m. Give them a call, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And if you want to stop in, please do. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right, back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, there is only one opening on the board where William Youngerman was at with the gold report. Oh, no, every line on the board is lit, Steve. So I'm going to go to the phones here in just a second, but I want to tell you guys the show, we're getting close to the end, so I'm going to take the calls the best I can in the order in which they were received, but I've kind of lost track. So if you've been hanging on there for a while, I'll try to get through everyone in this final segment of the program. And when a caller drops off, you can take a chance to try to get in yourself if you're in the listening audience at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
RJ from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, RJ.
Hey, RJ.
Okay. Just a news blurb this morning. The pension union in New York are pressuring Visa in the bank to categorize gun ammo sales in a separate classification than general merchandise.
I saw that. They're trying to get their gun registry together with that. Well, you know what, though? Let me tell you, though, okay, about the fear of a gun registry, which is a legitimate fear, okay? But there already is one through the background checks, right?
I'm not debating it or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The way that they're coming at you, they don't have to have any laws. They don't have to pass any.
Well, I tell everyone, you want to know how these leftists work, watch the original Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze. In that movie, towards the beginning, it's the first night where the Russians and the Cuban army are in the town. The Cuban colonel calls over some soldiers, tells them to go to the local gun store in the town in Red Dawn. He tells them what forms to get, which are all the gun purchases that they've made, so they can go to people's homes, the Russian army, and get their guns away from them while they're invading. I mean, that's that's such a big scene in that movie to me. I don't know, probably an afterthought to everyone else. All right, thanks for the call. All right, take care. Yeah.
We're not in a movie. Thanks.
Okay, I'm glad he told us that. I had no idea. This is real life. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? It was political. It was a political statement that was in the film. That was not there by accident. Okay, that was a conservative movie. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gervab from Deerfield Beach.
All right, Deerfield.
Watching some football this Saturday with my buddies, and I got a big craving of some wings. So I went over to Wings Plus, man. Ordered me.
All right.
Got 100 wings, 100 of them, and only 4 people showed up. But
well, four people on.
To your party?
Yeah, 4 or 5 people showed up. But we got.
So you got about a week's worth of wings there.
I don't know. I think 4 people could go through 100 wings from Wings Plus. They're pretty tasty. Which ones did you get?
I got the Key West, the honey bourbon, the lemon pepper, which was gone. I didn't get enough of them. The lemon pepper are absolutely.
Lemon pepper's the best, the one we suggest.
And the regular hot.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a mix. And another quick thing, and I left out of there was something on my head. A beautiful Ron DeSantis 2022 trucker hat.
Oh, that's great. Oh, you picked that up at Wings Plus? Yeah, they have Ron DeSantis hats over there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate it.
It's just beautiful.
Well,
Thanks, guys, for turning me on to Wings Plus.
all right, take care. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, Wings Plus, by the way, longtime sponsor here of the Steve Kane Show in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side. 17. About a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. And very easy to find because right next to the Wings Plus sign on the building, there's a Ron DeSantis for governor sign right next to the Wings Plus sign. So you know you're home when you go there. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, JJ.
Good morning, Steve and Brian. Just wanted to comment a little bit about the 35, raids, and it hasn't been reported on, and then touch a little bit on Fox News. I think most people that listen here know that a free press is extremely important for us when they're actually, working for us and informing us. But when they're basically propaganda across the board, when they're working for the deep state and the government and not us, it's extremely damaging because nobody really knows what's going on. Those 35, I still don't know the names of them. I haven't seen it anywhere. But I just didn't think they would go after, Biden's read, Wizard of Oz speech.
The Gates from Hell speech.
Yeah, the Gates from Hell, the Macbeth, scenario. I just didn't. I didn't think they would go. It's not working for them. It didn't work. The raid on Mar-a-Lago, Trump's, support's going up. It's not working, and yet they're going forward even deeper. I just didn't think. Now I believe.
What's their option?
They'll arrest them. To give up, I think, because
No, they're never going to give up.
35 people around, and then I heard 50. We're a third world country. I don't even know why. We're talking about Ukraine and Russia and our country. We are so corrupt. We make Russia and Ukraine. They're like kindergartners. The amount of corruption that's going on in our country.
Mm-hmm.
About it, I know you guys are, and there's a few people in here talking about it. But Fox News to me is one of the most dangerous because there are people.
Well, Fox it's a mix. I mean, you've got some great people on Fox, and many of them think for themselves, and everybody has different positions. Fox to me is the best place to pick up.
There are a few.
I mean, you pick up the pieces, you got to put them together,
But you know what, Steve, listen. There's some people over there I like. I like Mark Levin. I like Greg Gutfeld. I like Tucker most of the time. There's some, but here's the thing. We've talked about a ton of huge stories on this Monday morning edition of the program, and only one of them was mentioned on Fox. It was on Tucker's show, the one about the roundup of the MAGA supporters, the 35 homes that were raided, up to 50 people. None of these other stories, like that amazing story of Dr. Oz leaping over the security barrier at a packed house rally, all that. None of these other stories have even been mentioned on Fox. Yeah, Saturday.
Wait till it shakes out.
Ah, please.
On Fox today.
Now the Queen crap will be continuing.
Well, you've mentioned the stories and the three people you mentioned, Brian. I agree there are some good people there, but on whole, people go there and they believe.
My throat's just dry, Penny.
They believe, a lot of people, they'll believe the stuff that they're hearing, and a lot of it is just, it's propaganda, deliberate deception. That they get a lot of people is, like you just said, Brian, by not reporting on something. Like they didn't report on, like they didn't even let advertisements happen for 2,000 views.
Mm. Well, this... I don't know. He's okay, but because I find him boring on TV. Yeah, even if you let me tell you, like this story with Dr. Oz. People think, oh, what's the big deal? Dr. Oz is running against a guy who just had a stroke, who can't put sentences together. He can't turn out a crowd. He's got this huge thing on the back of his neck, on the right side of his neck, this huge round thing under his skin. I don't know what that is. And then here we have a woman collapse at this huge, over 1,200 people Dr. Oz event. Dr. Oz sees her collapse, immediately goes in the doctor mode, runs and jumps like it's a hurdle over the metal security barrier, tends to her while waiting for paramedics, and it's not in the news when fitness and health are the focus of that campaign. But Fox News, they had Oz on the other day with that guy that's had too much cosmetic eye surgery, Brett Baer, and they talked about the vegetable platter from last month. Okay, and I'm sorry, Fox News, there's some good people over there, but it's not an even mix. There's more negative than good.
I think that governor wannabe crazy communist up there, I think he's probably eating too much sapini. I think.
Oh yeah, Fetterman. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, always good calls from you. Oh man, I tell you, this is a tough week, people. I got it, but it's all going to be covered right here all week. This is a big week. We've got a Trump rally coming up on Saturday, and a lot of things have happened. And with this Queen coverage, they can't keep it up forever. I don't know how many days this week they're going to be able to continue to have nonstop Queen coverage. And will William sit next to Harry? Who cares who they sit next to? You know, these guys. But these big stories we've been talking about today, they're not going to be able to sit on and cover them up all week. They're just not going to do it. I don't think people are going to put up with that. But if they continue the Queen coverage, go to OAN. Go to, Steve, I told you can get OAN on your Alexa I gave you. All you get, you just got to say, Alexa, play One American News, and it'll come up. And I started tuning over to OAN this weekend, and Newsmax, but Newsmax has done some lineup changes, namely Greta, that have kept me away from there because she's. I was too hard on Mark Levin when I said boring on television. She is terminally boring. I mean, I shouldn't, Mark Levin's not boring because I forgot to put Greta in the mix. Greta Van Susteren's show. I think she looks, if you watch her, I know we interviewed her on the show and she seems nice and all, but I always thought she kind of looks like Don Johnson from the Miami Vice days. The hair, the look, the clothes, if you watch her show. But listen, that's it for today, but we will be back tomorrow morning. Some great calls on the program today, by the way. Some very good calls all through the entire show, and the quality of our callers here on the Steve Kane Show has increased dramatically. And thank you for all of, thank you for your, not only your participation, but your interesting analysis on the issues we bring up, because some of you have thought about things from angles that I haven't or Steve have not considered, and you are adding a lot to the conversation when you do that. But we'll be here all week long. And don't miss a show this week because there is more breaking news going on each and every day. Since it's really hard to even get to all of it in the time that we're on the radio each morning. Listen, God bless America, and of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow. It's really hard to even get to all of it in the time that we're on the radio each morning. Listen, God bless America, and of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
South Florida.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks, everyone, for joining me today. Make sure you are subscribed and you like the video before you go. I got to take off because I got to be somewhere right quick. But I'll see you soon. And Kathy and I will have a new podcast today, so look out for that. Take care, guys.